let's talk about the mood in Guam right now. What's it like?
Well, I think everybody was really stunned initially when they got the news. And when we thought about it, the more we thought about it, this is a lot more serious than the last time we got these kinds of threats, because this time we know that there are nuclear warheads, or at least that's what we're told. And also, unfortunately, we have a president now who has not shown any knack for diplomacy. So that's why I think this is really different than last time.
I guess the question is, at this point, are you more worried about the possibility of a nuclear attack from North Korea, or more concerned about the potential of what the president's comments could spark?
Well, that's it. I'm afraid one thing will lead to the other. And the fact that there's nuclear warheads, obviously, that if something went wrong, that'd be the end of our island. Whereas before it was, we thought perhaps they would aim for the naval base or something, and that'd be terrible, but at least the rest of us could go on.
I've had a lot of friends who visited Guam. Some of them say it's the most beautiful place on earth. Describe what your island home is like.
It's very small. It's only about 30 miles long, or 50 kilometers long, and about 8 miles wide. But it is a paradise. It's a place where you can go jogging on Christmas Day, and the weather's quite hot and humid most of the time, but it is quite beautiful. It's a great place to live and work, and that's why I've been here for 29 years.
Why do you think it's been targeted, allegedly targeted, I guess we should say, by the North Koreans?
Well, I think we're the closest thing going within range, and of course we do have two military bases here, which sort of puts a bullseye on us. And it's unfortunate because, you know, obviously Guam hasn't done anything to offend North Korea, and yet we're stuck in the middle.
How is all this tension affecting the daily life of people there on the island?
Well, as I said, during the day today, most people were just taking in the news. They were stunned, but there certainly is no panic. We're very tough out here in Guam. We faced earthquakes and typhoons and all kinds of disasters of one sort or another. So we'll get through this, but definitely people are edgy. And I was telling your producer earlier, we had thunder going on, which is very rare here. And just for a fleeting second, I think a lot of people were wondering, could this be something other than thunder?
You talked about the president's comments. Just drill down a little more on that in terms of what you think of what he said in view of this threat.
Well, the language was just over the top as far as I'm concerned, because if you're going to make a threat like that, you better be prepared to deliver. And he said this would be the worst fear that's ever been witnessed in the world. And that could only mean one thing, nuclear weapons. And if nuclear weapons slip through, that's the end of us. We're gone.
This is, of course, the week that the Japanese marked the dropping of the atomic bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. So in that region, I take it that nuclear threats are top of mind these days.
Yes, definitely. And Guam, of course, is the only place on U.S. soil that actually has been through war before. World War II happened here. The local population here was imprisoned by the Japanese, and Guam has a long history of being a place of war, but you know, so much different with nuclear weapons. That just is, again, all I can say is it's the end of everything, the end of our life as we know it here in Guam.
What do you think the U.S. administration should do to deal with these threats?
Well, I think what we'd like to see out here is talking. As long as people are talking, they're not going to be shooting, and talking with each other, not at each other. And so far, all we've seen are bellicose press releases from both sides, and that's not going to get anywhere.
Mr. Thompson, I want to thank you for talking to us, and who knows, this may continue for a while. We'd like to get in touch with you to see how this is unfolding and how the folks in Guam are reacting. Appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Todd Thompson is an American citizen living in Guam, and we reached him in Asan.